Good afternoon. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET now with me, Vinny Motiwala, along with me, Shell D'Souza as well. Shell, a very good afternoon to you as well. And market's trying to make a bit of a recovery after the fall that we've seen coming in 21,800 around those levels.
Absolutely, Vinny. The markets are definitely trying to recover from the day's lowest point, given the fact that at 11 a.m. we were actually down about 9/10%. When you talk about Nifty right now, we have actually recovered a tad bit from those levels, but holding on to about around 21,800 mark when it comes to the Nifty. Nifty Bank was the one where the casualty was more sharper compared to the benchmark indices. So let's see what Nifty Bank is doing. That one also staging a smart recovery. Paytm, stock that is in focus definitely, given the fact the sharp cut, it is actually locked in the lower circuit of about 10% right now. A lot of commentary coming in from RBI officials, though not naming the entity as per se in their commentary, but yes, that's all directed towards this particular entity. And as you can see, the stock is now down about 10%, locked in the lower circuit. But yes, a lot of stock specific action happening right now.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of stock specific action, but we do have earnings also which are keeping the stocks in focus as well. And we do have the management of Dreamfolks joining in with us. Librata Kalat, who's the CMD at the company, joining in with us. Thank you so much for joining in with us this afternoon. And let's just start by talking about margins. They have been under pressure for some time. What are the factors that are impacting the margins of the company, and what is the level that one should be expecting in terms of margins going forward?
I think we have already explained about this. This was basically a price revision which has happened in most of the airports, especially the larger ones. And that was one of the reasons that, why we see the margin crunches this year.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. This is Cheryl also joining in the conversation. And the company actually unveiled Dreamfolks membership club in Q3. If you would tell us what's new in this particular membership, and also if you could tell us how will it differentiate your company in particular, how are you expecting to attract more customers via this?
So if you actually look at the service portfolios, the way we have actually added, right? We started with lounges, and then we added different services in the travel, which was meet and assist, airport transfer, the spas at the airport, F&B, transit hotels. So this was all related to the travel and the airport. Further, we added even the railway lounges, and now we are also into the highway lounges as well. Further, we have actually, added that lifestyle services starting from golf, then the beauty, pet care, the health care, eSIM. So these are the lifestyle services as well. Now, if you actually look at the way the benefits have been given on the card, which is primarily either just the lounge or, the golf. But we also see that there is a demand in the market where people are also wanting to have the other benefit. So the reason of actually giving these membership or introducing the membership cards are basically giving a choice to the end user in terms of whether they would just want to have the travel related benefit or lifestyle and travel or lifestyle. So, this is how we have packaged the different services. So it's not necessary that you need to carry, a credit card to get the benefit, but you can also have it through these membership as well. The prime focus actually with these membership is to target the enterprises, because today if you actually see most of our business and the focus is only on the bank cards. But however, as company, we are also targeting the enterprises as well. And these membership, what we have introduced is primarily for this segment.
Also, the company has partnered with Grey Wall, which is Russia's leading lounge operator during the quarter gone by. What are the other global expansion plans? Where do you see that headed?
So this partnership with Grey Wall for Russia was primarily to give access to the lounges in Russia. So as a company, if you have seen, we have already expanded our network in terms of providing lounges across the globe. So we are already present in 100 plus countries, and the focus is yes to add more and more lounges across the globe. I would say that yes, Russia was one of that, and however, we are working closely with the other lounge operators as well, wherein we would be onboarding them soon.
Right, and last time when you spoke to us, remember that we had a discussion about your foray in the railway lounges. What has been the progress so far on that particular front?
So yes, it's been a year now. We have already started the railway lounges, and recently there are two more lounges which have got added, which is one of is in Chennai, and the other one is in Old Delhi. And Chennai lounge is supposed to be one of the largest railway lounge in India right now. And yes, the way we have been giving this benefit of airport lounges, similarly there are few of the cards and which are offering railway lounges as well. In terms of the growth, I would say that yes, we are seeing a very good growth in railways as well. However, presently, in terms of the numbers, if you see, compared to the airport lounges, yes, the numbers are very small. But however, we see that, the railway lounges are one of the very good potential in future for us.
Okay, and you registered a 773 crore revenue in March 2023 and 853 crore for the 9-month FY24. Revenue and margin guidance, where do you see that headed? What is the outlook for FY25?
I would not be able to exactly tell you the numbers, but I would say that, you have been seeing the growth the way we have actually shown in the last 3 quarters. So I would say that, in the similar lines, we would be actually doing our Q4, and this would be, our numbers for FY24. And we will try and maintain our margins the way it is presently going on. And in terms of, for FY25, I would say the driving factors, which are the airport traffic and the credit card penetration, because these are the two main drivers for us. So the way the market is growing for them, we would say that, we will align with the same trend.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on ET Now to talk about the quarter gone by for Dreamfolks and what you're planning way ahead for the company. And that was the management of Dreamfolks outlining the quarter gone by. With that, we slip into a break on this edition of Market Fatafat. When we come back, we'll touch upon the stocks that are moving in trade. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, and you're watching Market Fatafat on ET Now. Let's get it started with all the stocks that are buzzing in trade on the back of news flows and technicals. And on the technicals, we have Nirav Chheda joining in with us from Nirmal Bang Securities, while from the research team, we have Ashesha as well as Snehi joining in with us. So very good afternoon to all three of y'all. And Nirav, let's start with the first stock that you picked out for us, and that's Bank of Baroda. In terms of the technical levels, what is the level that you're keeping an eye out on? Are you expecting a further run-up?
Yes. Hi, and thank you for having me on the show. See, this stock has witnessed a 10-yearly breakout. Post 2011, this is the first time it has gone above the 230 to 35 odd levels. And now, whenever such stocks or such breakouts happen, very fast momentum comes on the upside. So I believe this stock is slated to move up towards those 300 plus odd levels. One can look to buy the stock at current levels, even though other banking stocks are down. You're seeing this stock surge up even for today. So definite buy from a near-term perspective as well. Look to buy the stock at current levels. You can keep a stop loss of 240 for your longs, and your first target would be around 275 and then 300.
Today coming in on Bank of Baroda, as you can see, we're in the thick of earnings season, and ever since the show started, we've not stopped getting earnings. So BML, as you can see it on your screen, there you go. The stock has actually seen a sharp downtick on back of its numbers. If you look at the revenue, it's coming higher by about 1% or so on a year-on-year basis, but the PAT has actually seen a decline on a year-on-year basis. The PAT has fallen about 27%, coming in at around 48.2 crore rupees. If you look at the EBITDA margin, also substantially lower when you see on a year-on-year basis. These numbers are consolidated numbers that I'm talking about. So if you look at the EBITDA margin, is coming in at around 5.4% as against 8.6% a year ago. So on back of this, these numbers, the decline in the PAT as well as the margins, you can see the stock is actually now inching much lower to the day's lowest point, 2.6% downtick for BEML. You also have Mrs. Bector's also that's released its numbers, a healthy set of numbers when you compare it on a year-on-year basis. So let's take a look at what Mrs. Bector's stock price is doing on back of his numbers, whether that one has seen an uptick. No, there you go, 4% downtick coming in for Mrs. Bector's. We'll try and see what's actually plaguing the stock. But if you look at it, the margins have come in at around 14.3% versus 13.9%. The revenue is higher by about 17% on a year-on-year basis. PAT higher by about 25% on a year-on-year basis, Vinny.
Okay, that is a couple of earnings that came in, but let's not forget Trent. That's the one that has been in focus after it reported its numbers yesterday as well. In just the last couple of days, we've seen an uptick coming in of almost 28%. And when you compare, because yesterday the stock did touch the 20% mark, today also managed to gain as much as 7 to 8% in trade as well. And good set of numbers is one thing. Other than that, when you're looking at brokerages today, what they are doing is also they've hiked the target price. Jefferies has hiked the target price to 3,500 rupees from a previous hold. What they're saying is they believe that Trent will actually continue to surprise on a positive note. Overall, the revenue growth has come in quite impressive, and that too on a normal base. And EBITDA margins are expected came in at an 8-quarter high, and this was partially led by the better gross margins that the company had seen as well. Other than that, what Jefferies highlighted that everyone actually underestimated the ramp up in terms of Zudio as well as the management execution, which is turning out well. Only in terms of one thing is that the valuation is something that is keeping them at the bay. But other than that, they've hiked the target price and they're maintaining a hold on the stock.
All right, moving on then, let's talk about the next stock that's on Nirav's radar, and that is Mahanagar Gas. Nirav, how is this one looking on the charts to you?
This stock has witnessed a rounding kind of a formation breakout above those 1300 odd levels, and post that the target comes to around 1650, 1700 for the stock. I believe the stock is heading higher from current levels. You can look to buy the stock at current levels with a good support base around the 1450, 1440 odd levels. That should be your stop loss. And 1650 to 1700 is where you book your profits.
All right, so that's the take coming in on Mahanagar Gas. Let's talk about ITC. It is actually among the top losers right now. If you look at it on the Nifty, at least the stock is seeing a downtick of as much as 4% as we speak. And the reason being that its biggest shareholder, the British American Tobacco, also known as BAT, has said that they are working to monetize some of its stake in ITC. What they're saying, and I quote, "We have been actively working for some time on completing the regulatory process required to give us the flexibility to monetize some of our holding in ITC." That's the word coming in from the company's CEO in a statement. Remember that the BAT holds about 29% stake in ITC. So on back of the fact that now out in the open, you have BAT saying that they're looking to monetize some of their stake in ITC. You can see the stock has fallen about 4%, but this is not the first time that they've actually said this or these reports have come out. So, but still the stock is down about 3.9% as we speak.
Okay, that's the word on ITC, but let's move on and talk about Engineers India Limited. And Nirav, what is the view on technicals for this stock?
So, post results, this stock has come down, but technically, again, I'm seeing a 15-yearly breakout. I'm very bullish on such longer term breakouts because the stock actually moves up very aggressively from there, and it gives a very decent return, though more than 50%. So, I believe this stock has also got this breakout, and that breakout is coming around that 230 odd level. So, there is a likelihood that this stock can now go up towards that 280, 300 odd levels, and in a short period of time. No doubt it has come down from the highs of 270. It has retested its support of 235 to 30, and now likely to move up from there. You can keep a stop loss of 225 for your longs, and you can expect 275 to 80 to come very soon.
All right, so that's the take coming in on Engineers India. Shesha, coming to you, Cummins India, they came out with their numbers. I believe also they had a con call. What did they say?
Well, yes, very strong set of numbers, and the stock has recovered sharply from the lowest point of the day, now seeing an uptick of over 8%. Revenues are up 16% YOY. Margins have also expanded to 21% versus 19% that they had reported same time last year, and hence EBITDA has seen a solid uptick of 31% on a year-on-year basis. In fact, Kotak has come out with a report. They've upgraded the counter to buy from their earlier ad rating. They've also gone ahead and hiked their target price to 2,750. Sharp uptick in target price to 2,750 from their earlier target price of 2,050. They say performance was very strong both in the domestic business as well as in the international business. Global parent has also gone ahead and shared healthy growth guidance for its India business for FY25. Gross margins are now at 2011 high levels, and results were ahead of street estimates, and they believe that it is one of the best plays on both growth and profitability in the capital goods coverage. So very strong set of numbers. Management commentary is quite positive. Brokerages have also given a thumbs up. The stock over 8% in trade today.
Let's move on and then talk about Supriya Life. And Snehi, this one is in focus on the back of its numbers.
Absolutely, Vinny, on the back of numbers and a stellar set of numbers at that. This stock has only been gaining since morning, and right now also 14.5% higher as we speak. Now, revenue has come in at 140 crore versus 105 crore when we look at it on a standalone basis, on year-on-year basis as well. So that's up 33%. PAT has almost tripled, coming in at 30 crore versus 10 crore. EBITDA has also tripled, and EBITDA margin has come in at 29.6 versus 13.2% on a year-on-year basis. Another key positive that the management has announced with its results yesterday is that they have approved the capital expenditure or the capex of approximately 60 crore rupees for its 5,000 square meter land project in Ambernath. They are saying that this capital expenditure would be majorly funded by the company out of its internal accruals itself, and the development of this factory will enable the company to set up the required infra they need for the CDMO projects going ahead. So that's another key positive coming in with the results. So the stock is faring well on the back of the results as well as this news flow, up 14.5%.
All right, moving on, Nirav, let's talk about GSFC or Gujarat State Fertilizers. How's this one been looking on the charts, given the fact that most of these fertilizer companies actually took a knock on back of their earnings?
Yeah, so earnings haven't been really great for these stocks, but before their earnings, these stocks moved up more than 50%. So that downtick was likely, and I believe this stock has come back towards its mean, and 50-day moving average is a very, very good support area for this particular stock. So it has come retested the 50-day moving average, and now likely to move up from here. Probably it will take 2-3 days to consolidate in this area, but one can look to buy the stock at current levels, and on some dips towards 255, 250 will be a stop loss. I believe this stock will again regain momentum and go up towards the 300, 320 level.
Okay, on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more stocks after the break.